And you're in the sweet spot in the season, JP Morosi. Every little thing matters. Let's get to it all, starting with a big thing, and that is Max Scherzer's health. Buck Showalter said 1 or 2 times through the rotation. Perhaps, are we still there? Good morning.
Lauren, good morning. Yes, the Mets are optimistic, and again, maybe not quite as optimistic as Max was initially about avoiding the injury list because, of course, he's on the injury list right now. But it does seem as though by the middle of this month, he is expected to be back in the Mets rotation. It did appear that yesterday's roster move of Scherzer to the IL had at least something to do, as Anthony DiComo wrote about at MLB.com, about getting as much pitching as possible on the roster for that doubleheader, which, as we just saw in the last segment, of course, the Mets did sweep that doubleheader. Here is what that rotation could look like for them in the near term. David Peterson there on the far right of your screen. He has been excellent for the Mets in that swing role, able to really serve as a starter or a reliever, pitching very well. We heard certainly how well DeGrom and Bassett both pitched yesterday. So the Mets should be in good shape. And I want to make this point, too, to piggyback on something else that was said. The Braves, they have a .700 winning percentage since the start of August. The Mets are right around .620. They are not playing poorly at all. So again, to underline, underscore, exclamation point, there is no reason for the Mets fans to panic. They're playing just fine. Max should be back by the middle of the month.
Dan O'Dowd just said, we're in New York. He said, Mets fans, just relax a little bit. It's not their DNA, right? It is forearm soreness for Tony Gonsolin. It was downplayed, and then bam, all of a sudden, MRI last week. Is it more serious, JP?
Well, Lauren, here's what the Dodgers are saying right now. Dave Roberts indicated that maybe they're not seeing as much progress as they had hoped, but he still said in the last 24 hours, according to Juan Toribio of MLB.com, the Dodgers hope that he is still going to be able to get ramped up and be ready to go fully by the start of the postseason. But it does appear now, Lauren, that it's been a week or so since there was the last update. Progress not really happening as fast as they hoped. You look at the calendar, you hear that update, and you say, there really needs to be progress probably in the next week to 10 days if the Dodgers are going to have him at full strength when the postseason begins. I think that's where we are right now, that this update is not really alarming yet, but if this is still where he's at in a week or so, you start to do the math and realize he might not be able to be fully built up. And yes, they've got Kershaw, Anderson certainly in the midst of an all-star season. They've got plenty of pitching, plenty of depth, Urias as well. But Gonsolin obviously was one of the best pitchers in the planet for the first 4 months of this season. So I do think, Lauren, that as we speak right now, no grave concern for the Dodgers. But if we're still having this conversation a week from now, could be a bit of a different story.
Juan Toribio said he saw him throw and he wasn't fully letting it go. Jack Flaherty certainly was. Dero watched his last start and said he looked good. He's going to get better, so dominant when he's right. In what capacity will we see him starting a game in the postseason, coming out of the bullpen, or do we not know yet?
You know, Lauren, that's an excellent question because you look at the Cardinals right now, and here's a team that's playing great baseball, best baseball of anybody in the entire sport since the trade deadline when they got Quintana and Montgomery, and now they've added Flaherty as well. So think about that. 3 starting pitchers who weren't really part of the rotation in late July are now making a huge impact. And to your point, Flaherty, in his first start in a few months, goes out there in 5 good innings, 6 strikeouts, just 1 walk. I think the Cardinals and on Oli Marmol, they'll be able to assess their roster in full in the coming weeks. Certainly they've got a comfortable lead right now in the division. I think starting a game for Flaherty is possible. I think he could also come out of the bullpen and be a really good multi-inning guy. I mean, they right now have, I think their pitching is lining up very, very well for them. Certainly just not only the division, but we just talked about Scherzer's situation. We just talked about Gonsolin's situation from 2 of their main competitors right now in the National League. And here the Cardinals are getting stronger. So I think for Flaherty, both options are there. I think we'll take a really good look at him this weekend, see how he looks in his next start out. But right now, the St. Louis Cardinals with Adam Wainwright at the forefront. Lauren, I love the Cardinals pitching right now.
All business on the inside corner. You can tell it's September. JP Morosi, thank you so much. We appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Lauren.
We'll chat with
All
you
the best.
later on.